Sitting senator expressing fear over black veterans, demanding the very rights they fought to defend.
That really underscores the deeply ingrained racism of the era.
Right.
Makes
Yeah.
you wonder, did this fear contribute to the violence that erupted in the years following the war?
It's definitely a factor, and we can't ignore the context of the Great Migration during this period. World War I created labor shortages, prompting a massive movement of African Americans from the South to northern cities in search of jobs. And while this migration offered new opportunities, it also led to increased racial tensions and, sadly, violence.
So the influx of Black Americans into northern cities, even though it was driven by the needs of the war effort, actually increased segregation and conflict.
Sadly, yes. It created a powder keg of resentment and fear in some segments of society, ultimately setting the stage for what became known as the Red Summer of 1919.
Okay, this Red Summer, I've heard the term, but what exactly happened?
Essentially, it was a wave of horrific racial violence that swept across the U.S. And we're not talking about isolated incidents here. Over 3 dozen cities and counties were engulfed in these race riots, and the death toll is staggering.
That many.
Hmm.
So it wasn't just a Southern phenomenon then.
Not at all. The Red Summer showed that racial tensions and violence were a nationwide problem. Take the Elaine Massacre in Arkansas, for example. Estimates suggest that anywhere from 100 to 240 black people were killed.